Good morning, students. So today we are going to start with the new topic. In the previous class, we have studied about the different types of the error detection, the algorithms, two-dimensional parity bit, internet checksum algorithm, and CRC. So now we are going to see about the reliable transmission. Is it clear? So what do you mean by this reliable transmission? Is it clear? So we are going to study about this. Now during the transmission of the frame from sender to the receiver, so some of the errors are going to be introduced into that particular the frame. Is it clear? So if possible, by using some of the algorithms, that is the error correction algorithms, you are going to correct it and then you are going to accept it. But some of the current frames may be discarded where it is not possible to correct those errors. At that time, what you are going to do, you are going to discard that particular frame. Is it clear? Now, okay, once you are going to discard this, then how you are going to give the information to the sender that the frame whatever you are transmitted is contains error, so I have discarded this, so I want that particular frame or the information once again. Is it clear? So now a link level protocol that wants to deliver frames reliably must recover from these discarded frames. So data link layer is responsible for transmission of the frames. So without any error, the frame has to be transmitted from sender to the receiver. If any errors are the frames are the corrupted, at that time these frames are going to be discarded. Okay, so now this is accomplished using a combination of two fundamental mechanisms. Is it clear? So what are these two particular fundamental mechanisms that you are going to find a solution that the correct frames should be retransmitted once again by the sender, that the sender knows that whether the frame has reached the destination correctly or not. Is it clear? Without any errors. So the two fundamental mechanisms are, one is a acknowledgement, another one is a timeout. So what do you mean by an acknowledgement here? Okay, an acknowledgement is nothing but it is a short, or you can say it is a very small control frame. Okay, that a protocol sends back to its peer saying that it has received the earlier frame. So whenever you are transmitting the frame to the receiver side, so receiver is going to verify that frame if it is correct, if it is error free. So it is going to be sent a small control frame to indicate, that is to give information to the sender that okay, whatever the frame you are transmitted is correct, I have received it. Is it clear? So sender will come to know that the frame has reached successfully to the destination. A control frame is a frame with a header only. It is not having any particular the data. Okay. The receipt of an acknowledgement indicates to the sender of the original frame that its frame was successfully delivered to the destination. When the sender receives the acknowledgement, what it indicates here? So receiver has successfully received the frame. The frame has successfully delivered. Okay. Now if the sender does not receive an acknowledgement after a reasonable amount of time, then it is going to retransmit the original frame. So what the sender is going to do? Sender is going to transfer the frame and he is waiting for the acknowledgement. Is it clear? So after a reasonable amount of time, still the sender has not received an acknowledgement. Okay, what the sender is going to do? Sender thought that maybe the frame has not reached the destination, or maybe it is a corrupted. Is it clear? Sender is going to retransfer this particular frame once again. Here the question is that for how much time the sender has to wait for an acknowledgement. Is it clear? So that particular the time period, the waiting time period for the reasonable amount of time by the sender to wait for the acknowledgement, that time we call it as a timeout. Is it clear? So once that timeout is occurs after transmitting the frame, so sender is going to retransfer the frame once again. Now what is the time period for the timeout? We are going to see it in the fourth module when you are going to study about the TCP. So where there is different algorithms and mechanisms are there to discuss the time taken for the timeout, whether it is an RTT time period or where we have to take a different samples and all. Is it clear? Take a average of the sample. There are different methods are there. So that is to set the time for the timeout time period. We are going to see it in the fourth module when you are going to study about the TCP. The general strategy of using an acknowledgement and timeouts to implement a reliable delivery. Is it clear? The purpose of using the acknowledgement and timeout is to implement a reliable delivery. When you are going to say that a reliable, when the frame is successfully reached the destination without any errors, the receiver has received that particular frame. Is it clear? Without any errors. Okay, so even though if something happens, even though some problem happens, sender is retransmitting that frame once again, a receiver is going to receive this. So this the process, this is what you are going to be call it as a automatic repeat request, or we are going to be call it as a ARQ. Is it clear? So this is the process what you call it as a automatic repeat request. That is the strategy of using the acknowledgement and timeouts to implement a reliable delivery. Okay, so this is what you call it as a automatic repeat request or the ARQ. So there are different ARQ algorithms are there. So we are going to study the first one, ARQ algorithm, that is a stop and wait protocol. Is it clear? So the idea of a stop and wait protocol is straightforward, that after transmitting one frame, the sender is going to be wait for an acknowledgement before transmitting the next frame. Is it clear? The sender is going to be waiting for the acknowledgement before transmitting the next frame. So the acknowledgement has to be received before the timeout. Is it clear? After transmitting one frame, it is going to start the timeout. So before the end of that timeout, sender has to receive the acknowledgement. Once it receives the acknowledgement before the timeout, sender is going to transfer the next one frame, and once again it is waiting for the acknowledgement. So this is the continuous process is going to be happen. If the acknowledgement does not arrive after a certain period of time, so after the timeout occurs, okay, now the sender retransmits the original frame once again. Is it clear? So this is what you are going to call it as a stop and wait. You transfer the frame, okay, and then you wait for the acknowledgement. Is it clear? So here we are going to see the four different types of the scenarios are there. If you are going to see the first one, sender is going to transmitting the frame, and the timeout mechanism is started, the time is started. So before the end of that particular the timeout, so it has received the acknowledgement from the receiver. So receiver is going to receive the frame, is going to verify that is there any errors are presented in that. So if it is a error free, it is going to accept that frame. Immediately a short control frame is transmitted as an acknowledgement to the sender stating that I have received the frame successfully. Is it clear? So other different scenarios are also there. Okay, if you are going to see these particular scenarios during the transmission here, there is a chance of the here it is a that is the original frame has been lost during the transmission, that is in the B. If you are going to see in the C, so frame has reached successfully the destination, receiver has received it, even it has transmitted the acknowledgement, but due to some problem, due to the network problem, acknowledgement has not reached the sender, acknowledgement has lost in between. Okay, if you are going to see the D1, sender has transmitted the frame successfully, it has reached the receiver, he has transmitted the acknowledgement, but a timeout occurs, sender has retransmitted the frame once again. So after that, sender is going to receive the acknowledgement of the first frame which he has been transmitted. Is it clear? So that is the different scenarios are there. So the first one here, it is that acknowledgement is received before the timer expires. This is the correct one. The second one is that original frame is lost. The third one is that acknowledgement is lost, and the D is that the timeout fires too soon. Okay, now here we have to study about these the different the cases. Is it clear? In the cases here, that is the cases of that C and D. Is it clear? So in the C and D, so where the frame has reached the receiver, okay, and even D also frame has successfully reached the receiver. In both the cases, sender timeouts and he is going to retransmit the original frame, that is in the scenario C and in the scenario D. But the receiver will think that it is the next frame which is transmitted by the sender. Okay, but since it is correctly received and acknowledged the first frame, this has the potential to cause the duplicate copies of the frames to be delivered. Receiver thought that already I have received that frame and transmitted the acknowledgement, this is the new frame, it is going to accept it. Okay, but receiver has received the duplicate frames, that is in the scenario C and D. Is it clear? Now the question is raised that how you are going to identify the duplicate frames. Do you have any mechanism to identify the duplicate frames? So in the scenario C, frame has successfully received in the first, but acknowledgement has not reached destination, so sender retransmitted the same frame once again. So already it has received the frame, so duplicate frames are there. Here also the acknowledgement has reached after the timeout occurs, the sender has already retransmitted the frame once again. So here also in the D scenario, receiver is having the duplicate frames. So what is the mechanism which we people are going to use to identify this, to address this problem? The header for the stop and wait protocol usually includes a 1-bit sequence number. So what you have to do? So you have to use a 1-bit sequence number. Is it clear? So that is the sequence number can take on the value 0 and 1. So whenever you are transmitting that particular the frame, so in that frame we are going to put a sequence number. If 1 bit is used, so two numbers where sequence numbers we are going to get, one is a 0 and the other one is a 1. Is it clear? So since the sequence numbers must be suitable for both the data frames and acknowledgement frames, we use this convention. The acknowledgement number always announces the sequence number of the next frame accepted by the receiver. Is it clear? So you just see it here in this particular example. Sender has transmitted the frame with the sequence number 0. If it has successfully received by the receiver, in the acknowledgement, receiver is going to put the sequence number as a 1. Is it clear? So sequence number of the next frame which is to be accepted by the receiver. For example, if the frame 0 has arrived safely and the receiver sent an acknowledgement frame with the acknowledgement the sequence number 1, meaning that the next frame it is waiting for the frame with the sequence number 1. If the frame 1 has arrived safe, the receiver is going to send an acknowledgement with the 0, meaning that it is waiting for the next frame with the sequence number 0. Is it clear? So in this way, here we can solve the problem of the duplicate the frames. Is it clear? So this is here which we have completed about one of the ARQ algorithm, that is a stop and wait protocol. Okay, so in the next class we are going to see about another one, that is a sliding window protocol. Okay, thank you.